Kevin Karius joins us from Sports 1440. It's pretty easy up there, isn't it, Dickie? Sportsnet, every Oiler game. Not that hard. You don't got to worry about this kind of stuff, eh?
No, yeah, I mean, that's the way it is, Normie. I mean, and I don't think every preseason game is broadcast for the Oilers. I know that. But, yeah, every game it's on, you know when it is, and it's on Sportsnet. And they just signed another 11-year extension there. That's the way it is, and it's pretty simple up here for sure.
Yeah, I swear Canadian NHL fans really don't know how lucky they have it, but they also never will. Not much of a mourning period for the Oilers losing Game 7, or am I like right into the draft, right into free agency? What's the scene up there?
I got to say, you got to give credit to Jeff Jackson and his staff here, because you lose 8 days ago. You get your heart ripped out, you're torn, losing by 1 goal in the Stanley Cup final, Game 7. And you got to get right back at it, jump on the horse. And I mean, yesterday was a fabulous day in free agency with all the pieces of the puzzle that they picked up. And to solidify the lineup that was, again, a goal short to winning it all. They made several key acquisitions yesterday and retained a lot of their key guys. So that was a big, big day for Jeff Jackson to get it done yesterday.
Well, hey, you've been around this longer than me. Not much longer, but the sooner you can remove the emotion, the better off you'll be in this nasty sport. Probably media too, but for sure, hockey.
Well, and again, I think it's such a big factor here that Jeff Jackson and his staff were able to do that. And not only that, but the players as well. If you look at, you can get Adam Henrique at $3 million per. And I know I had some guys on this morning on my show from Tampa Bay, and the Lightning were sniffing around Adam Henrique a lot. They could have got him at more money. He elected to stay here because he feels that this is a chance to win and go back to the Stanley Cup final again. But to flank him with Janmark and Connor Brown, and then to bring in two key pieces of the puzzle in Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson. Leon Draisaitl he's been having a tough go in the sense that Connor's had Zach Hyman, he's had Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and yeah, RNH has moved down to play with Leon many times over the course of the last couple of years. But now you've got Skinner and Arvidsson to start the season. You could have Hyman and RNH with Connor McDavid. Those are two deadly lines to start things off. The third line stays intact. You had a guy like Dylan Holloway, was the second line left winger in the Stanley Cup final. Gets pushed down to the fourth line. They still got to figure out what to do with Evander Kane because they're over the cap right now. But if he goes on long term, then they have that. They still have to find a way to sign. But there are RFAs in the sense of Broberg and Holloway. So that's just basically a QO and then some. But the pieces are in place for another solid Stanley Cup run for the Oilers.
Well, I guess that explains why the people are writing into our poll saying, why didn't you have Edmonton here as our top 3? Was who's winning free agency? We said Leafs, Devils, Predators, or other, and the Oilers fans are all upset. So basically, they're pretty optimistic there. Because I got the sense last week, and maybe it's because they lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup and we're losing Ken Holland, that people weren't that optimistic, but they obviously are.
I don't know why. I mean, I would have the Oilers at the top of the list. Nashville's up there, obviously, making the Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marsh. So don't forget about Brady Shea, really good defenseman. I have Nashville, I have the Oilers, and I have the Devils as the 3 winners yesterday for sure.
What do you think about Trotzy's comment, good old Notre Dame Hound, that he wants serial winners as players there?
Well, I love Barry Trotz. I don't know if when I was doing Oiler games, I did many games in Nashville because no one wanted to broadcast the games. You talk about what you were getting, like this is 12 years ago doing pay-per-view because that's how the landscape was different. Nashville, it was twice a year. No one wanted to broadcast those games. That's when every game wasn't on TV. Love Barry Trotz, got a lot of time for him. He is putting the right pieces in place there for the Preds to be successful.
I guess my point on that, I opened the show saying this, is if I was a GM or an owner, I would only sign or hire guys that had won before, which is what Trotz is saying. Now, that would preclude you from hiring guys like Knobloch. I'm not saying it's right, but I get what Trotzy's saying. I wouldn't be hiring a newbie or somebody that hasn't won. That's all I'm saying. And he would know. He's done a lot of winning.
Yeah, he's done a lot of winning, but he's also done a lot of losing. I mean, there were some pretty lean years in Nashville when he was getting things going with David Poyle and things like that. So I just, you find the right person. That's what you do. I don't care what the pedigree is. I mean, Chris Doblock, if you're going to say, well, so yeah, he won in junior, he won in U of A as a player. So if he's the right person for the job, I think you got to look past what you're saying there.
Yeah, well, no way. And by the way, to make it clear, I extended that to coaches, but Barry was only talking about players. He wants to sign serial winners, and that's why he went with Marchessault and Stamkos. So I get that. But I'm just, hey, the Oilers tried it too, right? With Pat Quinn and Tom Rennie, one at the junior level. The Oilers tried it as well. I'm just saying there's more than one way to do it. But I see where Trotz is coming from is what I'm saying. Yeah. By the way, Dick, you may or may not know, you really raised some eyebrows with your comments on the CFL last week because they're writing me going, your buddy Karius is saying the CFL's on life support. Is it that bad? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad. I've just stopped talking about it. Yeah, I said, I've stopped talking about it because it pisses off everybody in the league. So tell me what you know and what you said that got everybody all worked up there.
What it said, it's dying on the vine. It's simple. Last night, West Coast Baseball, West Coast League, outdrew the Elks for the first two games. West Coast League. This is collegiate baseball. They had 9,000 fans. Unbelievable atmosphere at used to be Old Telus Field, now at Remax Field. Unbelievable atmosphere. Yes, it's Canada Day. I get it. Elks had less than that for their first two games. Less than 9,000 fans. They're dying on the vine. It's that simple.
Okay, well, you've been in that town for, literally how long?
25 years. More.
Yeah, 20, that's all?
Yeah,
so when
27 years. Sorry, 1997
yes.
Whatever it was.
Well, we're getting old, Dick. So when they say it's because of the name change, or it's because of the economy, or it's because the stadium's old, what do you say when you hear all those excuses?
The name change is one thing. It's not the end all be all. I think, and people have to probably get over that. As I said last week, I'm led to believe that this ownership is done. It's a done deal. And I know who it is. I'm not going to say who it is right now, but that is something that will come into play here again with the new ownership group. Maybe they go back to a different name. I'm led to believe that's a strong possibility as well. We'll see what happens there, but it's just one thing. You can talk about but why does Winnipeg make $5 million? The Elks here had to go through problems with COVID just like everyone else. But you see, look, you watch in Toronto, there's no one at the game. These 5 o'clock Sunday starts are stupid. Get rid of the 5 p.m. Sunday starts. They make no sense to me at all. That's Mountain Time, so 7 o'clock Eastern. You want to go to a game if you're in Toronto or Hamilton or Ottawa at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night? Give me a break. Stupid.
Probably not. I never knew you were a dog guy. When did you become a dog guy?
Yeah, he's in the other room over there. I'm going to have to take him outside here or something. We got a dog. Yeah, Sammy. He's a good little dog. 4 years old, so. And yet they would go to an Oilers game at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. So it's all about wanting to be there. To me, it's not about, it's not about when the start times are. It's about give us a reason to go. It's not the name, it's not the time, but that's my thinking. But anyways, it's always fun chatting with you, Kevin. Keep it up. Apparently you got some listeners up there, so keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, Normie. Always good to talk to you, you old cone snail.
There you go. My longest time friend in this business, the great Kevin Karius.